All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Welcome back to our daily Bitcoin miner and Bitcoin update. I want to go through what happened today, and there's a couple of key things that I want to look at right now to see if we stand a shot at breaking out to the upside. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and of course smash the like button. Feel free to drop a comment in the comments section. I read all the comments, I respond to most of them. So also you will see in our pinned comment we have a link to our free Discord, so we'd love to have you over there. All right, let's get to Bitcoin. So the first thing I want to do is take a look at the Bitcoin miners, because Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners did not act the same today. And for once, the Bitcoin miners actually outperformed Bitcoin quite a bit today for the most part. So let's take a look. Okay, so you'll see there's only one red Bitcoin miner on the board, and that is Iris, and it was down 1.23%. So it seems like every day there's one or two outliers. Anyway, that's the only thing red on the board. Other than that, it's not only a green board, it's very green. So some of the standouts, Riot, which announced earnings, they were up 12.45% today. Marathon was up 10.03% today. So those guys continue to be on a run. I think this is 2 days in a row they've been up double digits. And there's lots of 6s and 7s and 8s all over the board. So you guys, I'll give you a chance to just look at the board and find your stock or stocks that you guys are invested in. But you can see very, very positive day. While at the same time, Bitcoin was just absolutely, totally sideways. So I'm going to go to the chart. It is just crazy how little action there was on Bitcoin today. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin chart on the 15-minute time frame. So each one of these candles represents 15 minutes. This yellow line right here was at the close of the market yesterday. This candle right here, this 15-minute candle, is where we closed on the day today. So you can see that is almost exactly on the orange line, which means we moved zero. Beyond that, we stayed in an extremely tight trading range all day long. No wild swings at all. So I've added a green line right here, and this is a very short-term line of resistance. You can see we kind of got up to that over here, and within the last 24 hours, we've tested that a couple of times, and that seems to be as high as we've gotten. So that would be the first thing we need to do. We would need to take out this short-term line of resistance. I'm going to lay out a bullish scenario, and this is the third time now in the last month and a half we find ourselves in pretty much the same spot. So I just want to review what it is, and let's see if maybe this time we can keep some momentum going. And I am encouraged with the Bitcoin miners moving up today as Bitcoin is moving sideways. It gives me a little confidence that people are feeling like Bitcoin is going to start to make a move. All right, to look at the pattern, let's go to the daily chart. So this is Bitcoin on the 1 day time frame. So each one of these candles is 1 day. The entire year of 2022, we have been under this purple line of $45,716. So we crossed under that on January 5th. We have not gotten back to it yet. Very close to tested it on a daily candle wick 3 times. Here on February 8th, we fell just short. Here on February 10th, we did actually test and fail. And then again on March 2nd, we got very close and turned around. So on all those days and a few other days, where we actually fell was this green line right here. So this green line, and that is not the green line that we looked at earlier. That was this little green line. That's a very short-term line of resistance. This green line is a longer-term line. This goes back to the middle of January. In the last 2 months, we really have not been able to close a daily candle above somewhere around 44,500. So these two lines are something that we need to get past. This is, and particularly this purple line, is a big barrier. So you can see we're over here right now. So, it's a little premature to start talking about, breaking out of this resistance. We've got some steps to go along the way. So in the very short term, I would be looking to take out this line at 41,473, and we're only a few hundred points away from that. So that one I'm not so much worried about. But this line right here, this was the bottom of the flash crash back in December, and that has been a line of resistance. So if I go to the 1 hour time frame and I zoom out a little bit, you'll see we ran into this back on March 9th, tested this line, and it held as resistance, and we went all the way back down to the bottom. We're a bunch of the way back up there, you can see, and this was almost a fake out. This ran up and then just ran straight back down. But we've definitely got some upward momentum going here again. So the first thing we need to do is take out this line at 42,400. About $1,500 away from that. That would be step one. So that's this line right here. So the big picture, step two would be we need to take this line out and we need to take this line out. We need to close a daily candle somewhere around 46,000. And that is going to be the final thing to confirm that we're in a bull run. And you can see we tried this once and failed. We tried this twice and failed. But I'm going to show you why I think we're set up to try again, although today is an important day. Okay, so I just scrolled up and this is a closer look at the RSI. So for those of you who watch the channel, you'll know that when the daily RSI gets above 50, Bitcoin has been going on a run. This giant green candle right here on February 4th is when Bitcoin crossed above 50 on the daily RSI, and you can see we had a big run up. This giant green candle right here is when Bitcoin went above 50 on the daily RSI, and you can see we had a massive run up here. Both of these times, these were short-lived and the pressure was back down. Now, it's hard to tell if we were running into a brick wall here and there's true resistance, because also both of those simultaneously had some geopolitical things going on that were pretty severe, and the markets turned around and Bitcoin turned around with them. So I feel like we're going to test it again, because you can see this green line right here, which was yesterday, we crossed back above 50. So we're set up to potentially take a run. And I will tell you, this just happened a few days ago as well. And you can see this giant green candle right here. We got above 50, and then this red candle right next to it, we went back down below. So we've had several fake outs. We're at about 53 on the daily RSI right now, so we're comfortably above it, and this would be day two of being above 50 on the RSI. The first one being this big green day. So I don't mind a day of consolidation. If that's what this day ends up being, is just some very small up or down movement, I would consider that progress, as long as we're staying above 50 on the daily RSI, which we are. Next, I want to look at the daily MACD. You'll see on this giant green line right here, we had a crossover on the MACD that was positive. And then the histogram went green on that day, and we had a nice run up. Now again, here, yesterday, the same thing. We had a crossover, the histogram went green, and we had a big green candle. So I'm just gonna blow this up a little so that you guys can see. This green right here was yesterday, and you can see that is when we had our positive crossover was right here. All of this is happening again. This is the exact same setup we got on the last two run-ups. So we're in the identical position. The question is, can we finish? It looks like we're halfway there. Can we finish this run-up? And then the question is going to be, do we fail again here at 45,000? Or can we close above this and have a daily candle at 46,000 and confirm that we are truly back on a bull run? Because the truth is, really, most of this year, particularly this time frame that we're looking at, we have been trading very sideways. Up and down quite a bit, so volatile, but sideways in general. I'm on Riot's chart on the 1 day time frame. So each one of these candles represents 1 day. So I just want to show you guys one other thing. I noticed a trend on all of the established Bitcoin miner charts. So there's 7 or 8 of these companies that have been up and active for the last year or two. And so those are the ones that have a little bit more of a history, and their charts are acting very similar. So I want to show you what's happening. This yellow line right here was the high on November 15th in this instance. Typically, it was more like November 9th. For the purposes of this analysis, I'm using the November highs when Bitcoin had its all-time high. So you can see from the high, which was somewhere in the middle of November, to the low, which for all of these Bitcoin miners was January 24th. From the high to the low, this was down about 72%. So what I've noticed is that's pretty universal across the board. All of these miners are down basically somewhere between 70 and 75% off of their November high. And conversely, if we go from the low to where we're trading right now, Riot's up about 39%. So most of the Bitcoin miners are up somewhere between 30 to 40% off of their recent low on January 24th. So that's been the trend, down 70 to 75%, up 30 to 40%. And it's pretty much across the board. And there's one big exception, and I want to show you guys what it is. Cleanspark has behaved a little differently. So the first part, they're okay on. If I go from the high, and this is November 4th, down to the low once again on January 24th. So all of these bottomed out on January 24th. You'll see 75.7%. So in that regard, it acted like all the other Bitcoin miners. It had its 70 to 75% rundown. However, Cleanspark is now up a little bit more than 100% from its January 24th low. So Cleanspark has outperformed, by and large, all the other miners over the last month and a half. It's had a very big run up. This is a double in, just over a month and a half. So I just want to point this one out because I have a big position in this, and I just want to make everybody aware, for those of you who may not know, this has run out ahead of the other Bitcoin miners. So it may be justified and maybe it will hold this ground, but a lot of times when one of these deviates from the other, it comes back in line. So just be aware, Cleanspark has run out, and this is a huge gain. I mean, this is a double in a month and a half. So I know oftentimes it feels like all the miners do is go down and, lose money, but, there are some good runs, and I think there's some good runs ahead. But of course, none of this is financial advice. Please do your own due diligence. I'm just trying to point out some patterns that are going on here that seem to be consistent, that may help you in your decision-making process. So I'm going to pick just one more. I'm going to pick Hut 8 because I want to show you what Hut 8 is doing. So if we go from their high on November 9th, so in this instance it was the exact same day as Bitcoin, okay, to its low, which once again was on January 24th, 2022, so that's been the same for all of these miners. Hut 8 was down about 72%, so that's right in there, somewhere between 70 and 75% from the high to the low for basically all these miners. So that part is consistent. However, whereas Cleanspark has run out ahead of most of the other miners, and it's up 100%, Hut 8 is lagging behind. It's up only just a little over 20%. And most of the other miners are more like 30 to 40%. So that is not a massive difference, but it is lagging a little bit behind. So, there may be a chance for this to catch up to the crowd and have a little bit of a run. So again, not financial advice. I'm just pointing out trends and patterns on the chart. So do with them what you will, but please be careful. As I always say, the Bitcoin miners are highly volatile, so please trade carefully. So you can see we're hovering here still around the same point. So that's all I got for you on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners today. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.